We got started in 2012. My family and I bought this beautiful farm from the Stanichka family who had been on this land for over 100 years. And my family and I have been very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to try to shepherd this land and these animals into the next generation. So as my kids started getting a little bit older and they started spending a little bit more time on the farm, they started asking me, "Hey Dad, when can we get some animals?" And of course, the first animal any kid wants is a horse. I'm like, nah, horses are a lot of work, and it's not like I'm getting my big ass on a horse. There's no way I'm getting up there. And also I said, guys, what about some cows? My wife had a pet cow when she was little. Her uncle was a dairy farmer, and so she got one of the runt bull calves that they weren't going to raise, and so she raised them in their backyard. They had like 10 acres. And so she had this really fond memory of being around cows, or a cow, when she was little. And so as soon as I brought up the idea of raising some beef, kids were all over it. But at the beginning, the idea was just to have a few cows as just part of the farm, and we would just enjoy the opportunity to feed them some corn every now and then, to get into the pen and open up some hay in the winter. And from there, it really blossomed because we got our first 5 heifers and we got a bull from a ranch, the Hagastoon Ranches up in northwest Wisconsin. And my only demand was I want to make sure that the animals that we get are going to be really well raised. The genetics are going to be picked and selected perfectly, but the selection process has to include, I want animals that are really safe to be around for kids. I want them to be very docile. And so that's how we ended up with this herd that we almost treat like family pets, because you're able to be around them, you're able to feed them by hand. The kids can get into the pen with them, they can feed them corn, they can feed them some hay, and you don't have to worry about them at all, unless you're holding the corn bucket and then they might pin that to the ground. But for the most part, you feel really great because your family can just be around them and doesn't have to worry at all about their safety. And once we had everything kind of set up, we started raising a couple steers just for my family, because I wanted to be able to serve beef to my family that I knew where it came from, what it ate its entire life. As soon as I started giving it out to friends and family and we started feeding it to our kids, they were like, "Man, this stuff is amazing." And that's when I decided, all right, it's time to grow the herd a little bit where we can have enough animals where we can start to raise some and put some on menus in local restaurants. And I had a friend in Madison, Dan Bonanno, who's got an unbelievable James Beard restaurant in Madison called Pig in a Fur Coat. And I just gave him part of my first steer and I said, "Hey, you take this, just let me know what you think. Tell me what you think about this beef. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Like, I have a lot of pride in how we raise these animals. I know they're really good, but you have the discerning palate." He was like, "Joe, you got something going on there. Like, I'll take as much as you got for me." But I wanted to be able to raise enough beef so that I could feed more than just family and friends, and that we could give people the opportunity throughout the country to be able to taste what me and my friends and family and local restaurateurs were able to experience as the best beef that they've ever put on their plate. And so as we started growing the herd, we started adding different genetics to our herd, and now we're raising our own brand of Hall of Fame beef, which is a black, a red Angus, a Simmental, and a Wagyu blend. The genetics are all selected for premium, marbling, unbelievable tenderness, and of course, we always make sure that they're the most docile animals possible, because we want them to be safe to be around the kids, and also when you have chill animals, you're gonna have excellent beef. The Prem brothers were the ones that processed our first animals, and they got to see firsthand how well these animals were raised, the genetics that they had, the marbling that these animals had. And I think they saw the opportunity, just like I did, to allow more than just friends and family to experience Six Springs Hall of Fame beef. And so just about the time when I met the Prem brothers and we started talking about a marketing strategy, I was elected to the NFL Hall of Fame. And we started talking about, what are we gonna call this beef? This is Six Springs Farm because we have 6 beautiful bubbly springs on this property. And that's beautiful, that's amazing. But how do we make it unique and a little bit personal to me? Because this area, this place is so special to me and my family. And so the third light bulb went off at that point, and I said, it should be Six Springs Hall of Fame beef, because Hall of Fame is the pinnacle of any sporting career, any entertainment career. It's the best of the best. It's not just a one-year all-star. It's a selection of the best that have ever done it. And so we felt that the name Hall of Fame beef reflected the care that went into the selection of the genetics, the care that went into raising all these animals in a humane manner with no stress, and then also the care that was taken in the processing and the end of life of these animals to be able to deliver from these pastures right to people's doors in the quickest, most efficient, and most delicious manner. And so that's how the name Hall of Fame beef came about. And my wife didn't nix it. So my goals for Hall of Fame beef is to raise our own breed, not necessarily a certified breed of beef, but something that's very specific to God's country here in Southwest Wisconsin. Something that I think everybody can be proud of that lives in this area because of how amazing these soils are, how incredible these pastures are. And I think you'll taste that. It's Hall of Fame beef by Six Springs Farm.